In an intense showdown that had fans on the edge of their seats, one play could have changed everything. Luka Dončić versus the Brooklyn Nets. This wasn't just a game about basketball, it was about proving who truly belongs at the top. Coming off a disappointing loss to Boston, both teams knew this was their chance for redemption. The stakes couldn't have been higher. As the game unfolded, the tension in the air was palpable. From explosive dunks to last-minute heroics, this game had it all. And as the buzzer sounded, we were left with one burning question. Who would rise to the occasion, and who would be left wondering what went wrong? The stage was set, and Brooklyn was ready to prove they weren't going to back down. But Luka Dončić? He's a force of nature. Would he be the one to carry his team to victory? Or would Brooklyn's defense prove too much for even him? The game began with both teams battling their nerves, trying to find their rhythm. It wasn't pretty. The Lakers, still feeling the sting of their recent loss to Boston, came out sluggish. Their defense wasn't tight, and they struggled to convert shots. But even in those early moments, there was one player who refused to let them sink: Austin Reaves. Reaves came alive quickly, hitting clutch threes to keep the Lakers in the game. His shooting was on fire, and his energy lifted the team. But it wasn't just him. The Nets weren't backing down either. Brooklyn had their own sharpshooters in the mix, with Claxton dominating the paint and preventing any easy looks at the rim. Every time the Lakers thought they had an opening, Claxton was there to snatch it away. It wasn't just defense, though. Brooklyn had offensive firepower, too. Johnson and Vincent were stepping up, making timely shots and getting the ball moving. But neither team could really get a handle on the game early on. The first quarter was a tug of war, with both teams trying to assert dominance but failing to land a solid punch. But then the game began to shift. Brooklyn's defense turned up to another level. It wasn't just about stopping the ball, it was about disrupting the Lakers' entire rhythm. Claxton's block on Dončić was just the beginning. Every time Luka tried to drive, there was a wall of defenders waiting for him. Whether it was Vanderbilt's lockdown defense or Claxton's shot blocking, Brooklyn was everywhere. But the Nets weren't just playing defense for the sake of defense. They were playing with intensity. They were hungry, determined to make every possession count. They knew Luka would get his points. He's Luka after all. But they were making him work for every inch. With every missed shot from Dončić, the Brooklyn crowd got louder, and their defense became even more suffocating. Even Reaves, who was playing at a high level, couldn't get open looks as easily. The Nets' defensive scheme was working, and they were slowly but surely gaining the upper hand. But let's not forget about Luka Dončić. Even when the game seemed to be slipping away, he's always one move away from turning it all around. His ability to change the course of the game is unmatched. Despite Brooklyn's best efforts to shut him down, Luka refused to be contained. He wasn't just scoring, he was orchestrating. His court vision is unlike anyone else's, and he kept finding ways to create shots even when everything around him seemed chaotic. A quick crossover here, a spin move there, and suddenly he was at the rim or sinking a three-pointer from deep. But perhaps the most telling moment came when Dončić hit a huge three-pointer from the corner, tying the game with seconds left in the third quarter. You could feel the shift in energy. The crowd roared, and the Lakers seemed to draw new life from that shot. Luka's ability to rise to the occasion is what separates him from most players in the league. Even with the pressure mounting, it was clear that he was the heart and soul of the Lakers' attack. But could he keep this momentum going, or would Brooklyn's defense finally break his rhythm? As the game entered the final stretch, the tension reached a fever pitch. Every possession felt like it could decide the outcome, and every shot became that much more important. Luka, ever the clutch performer, was looking to seal the deal with another big-time shot. With just under a minute left, the game was tied. The atmosphere was electric, and you could feel that anything could happen. Luka had the ball in his hands again, looking to break the tie. His quick move to the right, the fake, Luka created the space for a contested three-pointer. The crowd held its breath. It was up, it was down, and it was in. Luka had hit another huge three-pointer, sending the Lakers into a slight lead. But that wasn't the end of the story. Brooklyn wasn't going to let this game slip away. With just seconds left on the clock, Cameron Johnson hit a massive three-pointer that pushed Brooklyn into the lead. The Nets had been hanging on by a thread, but now they had the advantage. It wasn't just the offense, though. Brooklyn's defense tightened once more. With Dončić driving to the basket, trying to create one final miracle, Claxton's presence loomed large. Even when Luka tried to get a clean look at the rim, the Nets' defense was there to disrupt him. The Lakers had no choice but to foul and hope for a miracle. But Brooklyn was ready. With each free throw they made and every missed shot the Lakers took, Brooklyn's grip on the game tightened. As the game clock ticked down to the final seconds, the Lakers were in desperation mode. Luka dribbled the ball up the court, knowing this could be his last shot. He made a move, broke through the defense, and launched one final prayer for the win. The ball was in the air. Everyone held their breath. And then it missed. The shot was short, The crowd erupted as Brooklyn sealed the victory, taking home a hard-fought win. In the end, Brooklyn's defense and some timely shooting from players like Cameron Johnson were the difference makers. They weathered Luka's storm and came out on top. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Nets showed they have what it takes to compete at the highest level, even when facing a player as dangerous as Luka Dončić. But the story isn't over. The next game could bring even more surprises. Can the Nets keep this momentum going, or will the Lakers bounce back and show what they're made of? One thing's for sure, the drama is far from over.